You. If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. The tit, the most unassuming of bird species. The tit is from a large family of small passerine birds which mainly occur in the northern hemisphere. Members of this family are commonly referred to as tits throughout much of the English-speaking world. These birds are mainly small, stocky, woodland species. Some have crests or beards. Just like another animal, the Alba commune pine, they range from 4 to 8 inches. Many species live around human habitation and come readily for nuts or seed, and learn to take other foods. This message was presented by the DeWeather Institute for Climate Knowledge. The DeWeather Cares Knights Tits Kickball Tournament is coming this October and benefits 4 cancer-related charities. See DeWeather Center on Facebook for more information. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to week number 3 of the TNT Rock Block right here on the National Racing Network. My name is Chris Graham. It's a pleasure to have you joining us here. First of 3 races coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Southern National Motorsports Park will play host to the Free V Series. 8 cars looks to be on the entry list for this evening's racing action. Catch a good overhead look there. Let's get a quick look at the weather conditions tonight, presented by our friends at DeWeather Center. Offensively accurate weather for eastern Pennsylvania. 80 degrees, the ambient temperature. Wind's going to be out of the south at 6 miles an hour. 82 degree track temperature. Should be an absolutely perfect night for racing. Pop you up the results here from 1 week ago. It was Wes Shire claiming the win over Scott Ross, Bill Walker, Nick Simone. The 4 cars finishing on the lead lap at the Okayama International Circuit. Mike McCullen, Chad Irvine, 1 lap down, couple of laps down. Rick Cleary, Jeffrey Davis, and Tyler Ziegler. Matt Galida finishing well down the finishing order. Definitely a big shakeup in the point standings. Shire going to be your leader at 62 points. He's up 4 spots after week number 2. Scott Ross, Bill Walker, Mike McCullen, Chad Irvine, your top 5. James Watson, Nick Simone, Jeffrey Davis, Matt Galida, and Patrick Byrne complete your top 10. "60 seconds remain in the practice session, and right now it will be Cullen Johnston at the top of the speed charts. DeWeather Center on the side of that number 84 machine as he makes his way off of turn number 4 and big into the outside retaining wall. These drivers have had pretty monster handfuls, we'll say, of race cars here. Here's Mike McCullen making his way off of turn number 4. These Vs based on a 1969 Volkswagen Beetle. A lot of the same internals. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Hopefully you enjoy the show this evening. We're going to hop on the plane and get the quick drive up to New Hampshire. New Hampshire Motor Speedway will play host to the Bolt and Shock Series this evening, but they're not going to be on the oval. They'll be on, well, half the oval. The road course that utilizes the south portion of the oval is what we'll see the Bolt and Shock Series on this evening. As practice just getting wrapped up here, Cullen Johnston will be your quick timer. 16.462 seconds is his quick lap. See who's going to be the first ones off onto pit lane for qualifications. How about it? We thought it was going to be Mike McConville possibly. He has, there he comes back out onto the racetrack. Show you the qualifying laps in the upper left-hand corner of your screen as they come in the familiar 06 colors. Meyershank Racing, Elio Castroneva taking that paint scheme to victory in the Indianapolis 500 this season. Mike McConville already has a win in TNT Series competition this season. We'll follow him around off of turn number 2. As always, have to say a huge thank you to Connor Baldwin for a fantastic job on the camera layout here tonight. James Curtis goes quick time, 16.536, 16.536 seconds for Curtis. We're going to turn 4 laps in here again very, very quickly. Curtis, Johnston, McConville, and Scott Ross. Wes Shire moves up to second quick. James Curtis still holding on to the top spot. Wes Shire finishing lap number 2. He's going to hold pat right where he is. Pick up Bill Walker here as he comes across the start-finish line. Walker going to hold on to the 8th position. Does improve slightly. 17.035 seconds. All 9 cars quickly through time trials. And we will be just as quickly into the racing action then. Clock still showing 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in qualifying. Driver can join the session late here. They would have to come out and do qualifying with absolutely no practice. But that is a possibility here. We'll get a look at your point leader, Wes Shire here. He did not get a ton of laps in practice. So not a real surprise here to see Wes taking advantage of the allotted time left in qualifications to try to get some laps in. Immediately at the conclusion of this race, the streams will go down off the air. We will return on YouTube only for the TNT Bolt Series, the USF 2000 cars. As soon as that race is over, we come right back here to YouTube and Twitch for the TNT Shock Series for the PM18s. One of the first road courses that series will ever have run. Still about a minute 20 or so left on the clock. Shire ticking off some pretty quick laps here. Actually, that last one down 16.5. Going to be the quick time for Shire there, but not going to count for the qualification run. Your first 2 laps are what score. Let's see if we can get a quick word in here with your pole sitter for this evening, Mr. James Curtis. Tell you what, James, that car looked pretty good in qualifying. What are you thinking here as we get into race trim?
Well, the trick's going to be just getting out ahead, starting on the inside. I think outside has a little bit of an advantage, so I probably would rather start P2, honestly.
That's going to be one of those where not sure if the admins will let you pick the outside lane there, but is it going to be a very lane-dependent race tonight, you're thinking?
I think so. You might be able to get a bit of a run. You got a lot of banking here, so you might be able to do something on the outside. But, yeah, I think it's going to be pretty lane-dependent. It's probably going to be kind of tricky to pass, but maybe not quite as bad as week one.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations on the pole award here, and good luck tonight in the feature.
Thank you.
There you go. There's James Curtis, your pole sitter for tonight's race. Get you the look overhead here from the NRN drone. We'll bring you tonight's starting lineup. 9 cars will answer the bell to take the green flag. James Curtis and Wes Shire going to occupy row number 1. Cullen Johnston and Scott Ross in row number 2. Mike McConville, Mike McCullen on row number 3. McConville with a win already this season. McCullen has been very, very strong in this series early on. He will be one to watch coming from the mid-pack. Chad Irvine and Bill Walker on row number 4. Jeffrey Davis going to be all alone back there in the 5th and final row here this evening. Good look there at the front of the field. Serge Cola on the inside. Homestead Coffee on the outside of the front row. Fully caffeinated front row here this evening. Checking in the comments, Chad Irvine saying, "Hi, Mom." Hello, Mrs. Irvine, if you're watching. As we mentioned, Cullen Johnston carrying the DeWeather Center colors this evening. Blue Cock Nation riding proud on that number 84 machine. The yellow crayon of Scott Ross going to line up on the outside of that second row. Meyer Shank Racing inside of row 3. Mike McCullen's solid blue up there on the outside. Chad Irvine in the world's first McLaren-powered Formula V. Going to line up in 7th. The all-black machine of Bill Walker in 8th. 9th will be the Jamaican bobsled of Jeffrey Davis. Looks like Rick Cleary also just barely made it into the session. He will have to start from pit road, however, as we get ready to roll off here. As always, timed races in the TNT series. Field will get the 1-to-go signal this time by the start-finish line. Pace car will make its exit fairly early here. Put the field under control of James Curtis and Wes Shire. Quickest car in practice going to line up 3rd on the grid. Let's see what it's going to be. As always, race fans, the start of this one is going to be all yours. Couple laps quickly in the books already. James Curtis out to a half-second lead over Wes Shire. He's going to battle with Cullen Johnston. Johnston pushes deep down to the inside into turn number 3. Going to try to make that line work. Shire able to keep the Homestead Coffee car wound up on the outside. Exactly what James Curtis wants to see. He's going to start to check out on these two. Trouble early on for Rick Cleary. Did not get a lap in practice, and that car is not handling real nicely at the moment. Johnston and Ross able to clear West Shire. Mike McCullen down to the inside. Shire may have gotten a piece of the outside concrete barrier off of turn number 2. Caution is out. Yellow flag on the speedway. Trouble. Oh, there's Mike McConville. Stopped up against the outside wall in turn number 3. Get a look here at the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. See what happened to Mike McConville. He was running all by himself here on the entry to turn number 1. Oh, that car just steps out in a big way. Slides up to the outside wall. Not too hard a contact, but it is enough to put us under the first caution flag of the race. West Shire down a couple of spots from the start of the race here tonight. Everybody else in the field is up 1 except for Mike McConville, who had that issue. James Curtis started this race from the pole position, and he will occupy that one here as we are 2.5 minutes in to this 25-lap feature. Excuse me, 25-minute feature, I should say. According to the lap counter, should be about 75 laps to go here. Best lap of the race belongs to James Curtis, 16.6 seconds. Field makes their way under the caution flag and behind the iRacing safety car. Lights are out. We're going to get ready to go back to racing. Curtis, Johnston, Ross, Shire, McCullen, the top 5. Irvine, Walker, and Davis, the final 3 on the lead lap. Mike McConville, Rick Cleary, already laps down. Green flag back in the air. We're underway. Not a good start for Cullen Johnston. Absolutely caught asleep at the wheel. West Shire trying to go 2 for 1. He comes around. Scott Ross gets the pass completed off of turn number 2. He's going to set his sights on Cullen Johnston. Seeing trouble on the racetrack for Rick Cleary does not bring out the caution flag. This battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th is a good one. Cullen Johnston, West Shire, Scott Ross, all battling nose to tail. Race leader James Curtis already coming around some lap traffic. That is the 25 of Rick Cleary. We'll see how this opened things up here for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Cleary almost got the outside wall. He's able to hold it in line. Shire clears, Johnston clears, Ross clears. These 3 cars will continue their fight here as we are now 6 minutes into this 25-minute feature event. Races are only going to get longer as we go. The next one up for the Shock Series, I believe, is 35 minutes. I could be mistaken on that one, but sounded like somebody got up into the outside wall. May have been West Shire. Shire definitely looked high coming off the corner. Ross going to have a peek to the inside. Tire conservation, I would imagine, is going to be very important here. No stagger options are available here. So the cars are completely balanced in terms of size of the tires. You can run some different air pressures in the tires. This league, typically a fixed setup. Seeing Rick Cleary down to the inside of the racetrack, staying out of everybody's way here. James Curtis holds on to the race lead. Still, the gap is 2 seconds over Cullen Johnston, who runs in the second position. Johnston going to be battling with West Shire. Scott Ross falling back just a little bit. The next tightest battle on the racetrack going to be back here between Chad Irvine and Bill Walker. Walker having a peek down to the inside. Here is your race leader. We are right about 1/3 distance into this one. In fact, right now we are at 1/3 distance. James Curtis holding a 2-second lead over Cullen Johnston. Curtis catching up on Jeffrey Davis, running in the 8th position to put that car 1 lap down. There's Cullen Johnston separating himself out from West Shire. The gap now a full second over Shire. Let's slide back in the field here. Pick up this fight between Irvine and Walker once again. Closest battle on the racetrack. That fight gaps out. This one picks back up. West Shire, Scott Ross dueling into turn number 1 as we approach the 10-minute mark. Pretty neat little road course coming up here for the Shock and Bolt series a little bit later on this evening. Utilizes turns 1 and 2 of the oval at New Hampshire. About halfway down the backstretch, starts to bend off into the infield. Turns 3 and 4 take you outside of the back straightaway, following around through a long twisty section. Turns 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, really 10, 11. It's fairly going to be, looks like it's going to be fairly high speed. Not overly technical, but that's kind of the perfect platform for those USF 2000s and PM18s. Put on a pretty good show. Back to the battle between Walker and Irvine. Walker trying to make the outside lane work through 1 and 2. Irvine and Walker have caught up to Mike McCullen to make this a battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th. These drivers currently 3rd, 4th, and 5th in the point standings. James Curtis got the win in week 1, entered in week 1, did not run week number 2. Everything seemingly settling down now in this battle. McCullen and Irvine about a half second apart as they'll come around Rick Cleary's stricken number 25 machine. Rick's had a big-time handful here tonight. Good look there at your race leader, Mr. James Curtis. He makes his way down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Just past the halfway point, Mike McConville being scored out of the race. He will finish in the 10th position. Rick Cleary 5 laps down in 9th. Jeffrey Davis 1 lap behind the race leaders in the 8th position. Everybody else still scored on the lead lap. And it's about half a racetrack or so between James Curtis and Bill Walker. There's Cullen Johnston making his way down the backstretch in the DeWeather Center, number 84. Let's take a look. Go on board here. McCullen, Walker, and Irvine all nose to tail once again. Get you a Hot Shoe Raceware instant replay here. Take a look at the pass by Bill Walker. Big dive down to the inside of 1 and 2. He gets that pass completed. Easily taking away position number 6 from Chad Irvine. The lead was shrinking. Oh, big contact. Mike McCullen, Bill Walker climbing over each other's wheels. These little V's are tanks, though, man. Almost got caution flag number 2 there. Bill Walker getting around Mike McCullen to pick up the 5th position and Hard Charger Award of the night. Oh, Chad Irvine almost got the outside wall off of 4. Slide up a little bit further forward in the field here. West Shire, Scott Ross battling. Those cars about 0.3 of a second apart. Coming around the Jamaican bobsled of Jeffrey Davis. 8 minutes remaining on the clock as we speak, about 28 or so laps to go Seems like every time Scott Ross gets caught back up to Westshire, there's just nothing he can do with it to get around him. Chad Irvine getting around Mike McCullen for position number 6. We'll head back up towards the front, though. Shire and Ross going to continue their festivities off of turn number 4. Gap's down to a quarter of a second. Peek back in at the front of the field. Get your race leader, James Curtis, as we are down to 6 minutes remaining here at Southern National Motorsports Park. Going to head off to New Hampshire. Up in England, where you're going to pack the car in Victory Lane. Couple of races there tonight for the Bolt Series and the Shock Series. Not sure if James Curtis would try to run all 3, but definitely one of those drivers that would have a shot at the triple. One of the interesting things to watch here may be if any of these drivers start to have some of the engine issues that we saw over the last couple of weeks here. Hold these cars wide open on the throttle for this long. We may see some engine issues late in this race. Westshire doing yeoman's work. Getting to within a few car lengths of Cullen Johnston. This is the battle for second with 4 minutes remaining here at Southern National. This would be a monster points night for James Curtis. Currently 18th in the point standings. But Westshire having a very big night. He looks to extend his points lead. Three minutes to go, and it's all James Curtis. 4.6 seconds is the race lead over Cullen Johnston, Westshire, and Scott Ross. 2, 3, and 4 all going to battle to the finish. Ross having a look to the inside of Shire. He's going to get that pass completed. Shire has to tuck back in line off the corner. Going to lose a little bit of time. They're getting caught up behind Jeffrey Davis. All three cars now able to clear that lap machine. How about Ross looking to the inside of Cullen Johnston? Shire slides up the racetrack. Almost got Cullen Johnston. Ross still holding on to second. Now inside of 2 minutes to go. Oh, contact! Huge hit into Rick Cleary. Big time damage for Cullen Johnston and Scott Ross. We are under caution with 1:18 left. And now we're going to have to see if anybody's going to be able to limp those cars back around. Cullen Johnston had to take the tow back in. Take a look here at Scott Ross. See what happened. Into turns 3 and 4. You don't see the car of Cleary go around. There was big contact from Cullen Johnston into Scott Ross as Ross went to check up for the stopped race car. Here's the onboard view from Scott Ross's machine. There you see Rick Cleary start to go around. A little bit of a checkup. And a huge hit. Cleary upside down on the racetrack. Go on board here with Cullen Johnston. What a tough break there. Absolutely junked. Front end on Cullen Johnston's number 84 DeWeather Center entry. He had to take the tow. Scott Ross was able to drive that car back, which is going to let him finish this race in the 6th position. And that will be the end of the race. Next time by, this is the final lap. Checkered flag will fly. This next time off of turn number 4 for James Curtis. We will not get back to green flag racing. Late drama here in the Free V Series. Checkered flag is out. James Curtis is your winner. Over West Shire, Bill Walker, Chad Irvine, and Mike McCullen. Little bit of fisticuffs after the finish here. Take a look at this one. They come across the line, and Mike McCullen, big time, into the back. They wad up 4. Now Ross is going to pile in as well. 5 cars all involved there. Well, and there's James Curtis buried in the middle of that as well. The attenuator party is alive and well here in the TNT series. Get your final race results here. For tonight's Free V Series race, James Curtis, race winner, under caution over West Shire. Bill Walker, Chad Irvine, Mike McCullen, the top 5. Scott Ross, Jeffrey Davis, Cullen Johnston, Rick Cleary, and Mike McConville round out the field here this evening. But with that, we are going to get out of here because we got to get ready for the TNT Bolt Series. Coming up next, right here on the National Racing Network, that will be on YouTube only, no Twitch coverage on this one. But we will be live on the YouTube channel. But with that, we are getting out of here. For camera design and assistant producer Connor Baldwin and everybody here at the National Racing Network, my name is Chris Graham. It has been a pleasure to have you hanging out with us here this evening. Till we're back in just a few minutes, we will talk to you soon. Have a good night, everybody.